Hi everybody, Curtis Allison again from Ultimate Comfort Swings. The last swing to show you today is going to be the 460GN by Sunset Swings, what's also known as the 6-person gliding picnic bench. The perfect place to sit back, play cards, eat food, just enjoy each other's company. This thing is a monster. It's 8 by 9 feet, so I will have some help today put this together. This is not one to try to put together by yourself. So as you can see, there's a lot of parts. You can kind of pan through and show those through. And we'll kind of go over all this. Remember, this swing does have a lot of parts and you will need a lot of tools. We'll show you what we need to do here in a few moments. So let's go ahead and put this thing together and let's have some fun. All right, guys, we got our tools ready to set. Everything's lined out as you saw. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting this thing together. Just a little disclaimer. Because we're out here trying to get this video set, I'm not going to be going by step one or by the bolts, but through the instructions. So we're just going to go by the bolt pattern. That way you can keep up with us, that way as we set things up. So the first step is make sure we have all the right parts. So the first step, what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the top of the chassis of the outside. So that's this piece right here. Kind of looks like a Klingon warhammer here, but we're going to go ahead and start with that. Set this down. Remember, guys, if you don't have a nice soft area to put it on, find one, whether it be a sheet, blanket, things of that nature. This is a lot heavier than the other swings, so you want to make sure that you have a nice soft area so you're not banging parts on concrete, gravel, things of that nature. So we have the upright here, so we're going to go ahead and take that, slide that in. Just line up the holes so that way it's already set in. It's kind of ready to go. We have the opposite side here. So all we're doing is building up the outside wall. Now the other ups, go on, just follow me. We're going to set this in. Kind of have to slide them in together a little bit as you go. There we go. So now that you've got the frame pretty much kind of set to where you want it, now we're going to go to step one on our bolt pattern. And also too, just make sure that you take your razor blade, cut to the top and over, so that way it makes it easy to grab all the bolts. Got it. All right, so frame-wise, the facing down will be facing the outside of the gazebo. So I'm going to take the bolts and put them from the underneath carriage out. You might have to wiggle a little bit to get it where. Can you just lift this bar up actually? Perfect. And it's in points like that that's going to make it important to have another helper since we're dealing with so much weight. Sets that in, and then from the top down, so that way the fabric, when the fabric goes up over this rail, it's not going to rub. So I'm going to need you over on this side, Greg. Just lift that up one more time, the bar. Up a little higher. There we go. Sets in. Good. Yep, all set. And the support. Now just follow the same steps on the other upright. And All right, so now once those are set, we'll go and put in the leg bolts. So I'll give you 4. And so here, through the other side, and bolt and washer.
You got that coming in from the top, right?
Yeah, the lock bolt, or the square end, will go through the shield, I guess you call it. Just trying to get all loose together. So we should have all 4 of those done. All right, good. Oh, one more. And if you'd like, you could always refer back to your installation. All right, so next step is step 4. So now we're gonna go with our shields. Set these plates out.
These 2 here.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and put the shields on the outside through the bolt. Might need a little bit of help with this one.
Okay, we'll lift that up.
And so presets your bolts through. As we have them down, we'll lift up. Let's not get my leg in the way. Set that. Set that. Once you get those popped up, we can set her down. Perfect, that was a hold in place. Keep those nuts and bolts on the end for a minute. Let's do the other side. Yeah, we're not all the way in. Shift it. There we go. Start with the top one, I guess. There we go.
Okay.
And last one. There. So go and set that down.
Okay.
Make sure these didn't get popped out. Okay, perfect. So now those bolts are now sticking out. So the next step is to grab the brace bar. And the stickers are going to face in toward the swing. So one up like so. You'll notice I'm not tightening anything yet. We're just gonna go ahead and do all just by hand tighten. Once that sets in, this should be able to hold. And grab the other upright. And once again, you want the stickers facing on the inside. This swing actually holds 1,200 pounds. Pretty remarkable for a bench. So they don't even have to be 5 of your smallest friends.
Hey, I can use that.
All right, so now here's where we're getting a little bit tricky, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move forward on one other step so that way we don't have to mess with it. Let's go and grab the bar, the long round bar. And I want step number you know what? I'm not going to do that this time. Let's go ahead and do it the other way. So now we've got this set. We're going to go and leave that back for a second. I forgot there was one other step that we need to do. When in question, always follow the instructions, right? So we are going to go ahead and lift this up at this point. So once we set it up, set this up together, one person will have to hold it up while the other comes up as well. So unless if we do want to do the other ones first, we probably do want to get that done.
Yeah.
Actually, it's easier to do that when it's upright. So let's go ahead and do that. So that way we have it already set. So have your bolts set though already, ready to go, because the other unit, as you can see, is going to have a little bit of weight to it. So once we pop these in, it'll help support the weight. We'll be able to get that going. So those are already preset and ready to go. So let's go ahead and tilt this over. So we're going to come up with it. And right about there, as we bring it up, you're going to bring it into me, and I'll hold the weight. So now if you could go ahead and grab that other piece and bring that up. Yep, I got this. Now bring the feet back a little bit towards you. That way I can line it up all the way back a little bit further, all the way probably back to the green.
Oh, to the edge?
Yep, to the edge. Okay, now I'm going to try to hold that for you while you grab the bolts and one bracket on the ground. Go ahead and lean that into me. Yep, there you go, I got it. There you go. And now we're just going to focus in on that one area right there. So you want to undo your bolt so you're ready.
So this, you got that?
Yep, I got it. Now remember, these are galvanized steel, nice and thick.
Is this on the back here?
Yep. Okay, perfect. Now go on. Yep, you're fine. Nope, I got it. That's connect to
Do the other
this.
one, do the other one.
Yep. So all we're doing is presetting the bolt. Okay, so now he's going to bring his end back, so bring yours more upright and help me line up. And we got to go down a little bit, down, 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 right there. Come right into it if you can. There you go. Okay. Once you get one of these bolts in, it's going to make things so much easier. This is the hardest part. And once again, guys, we're just hand tightening because there's going to be another bar, tension bar, that we need to put in. I was going to try to cheat, but it's just easier to do it after we're done with all this. All right, so now we can move on. It's going to be able to hold by itself now, which is great.
I can do this one.
Yeah. Now at this point, it's going to be easier to square this off a little bit, so that way everything fits nice and square. There you go.
Okay. Just keep your hands on it.
I got that extra right there.
There you go. Beautiful.
All right, teamwork at its best.
There you go.
All right, so now that we've got the bottom bolts, all this set, we can come back and actually go ahead and tighten everything up. So they're all 17s. So let's just go ahead and grab our 17mm on our wrench, on our drill. Actually, I just talked myself out of that. This is where we do step 6. So let's go ahead and grab, that's the bolt I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, and 6 on the same sheet. So now Greg will do that one bar again. And
Slide this through.
yep, if you want to hold this here for me.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is this tension. Yep. So through, and as best as you can,
Okay, time.
if you could hold it up as high as you can,
Go.
so that way I'm not binding. Just enough to catch it. Perfect. And now this one, so see, if we would have tightened the bolts, guys, it would have been very difficult to get this in. So keep everything loose as the instructions tell you. Now that that's in, now we can go ahead and tighten everything up. So just work your way up the pole. Now we're going to move to the number 4 Allen wrench extension. That's going to bring this in. And last one. And we're all tight. So, looking good. So off to the next sheet. So now we're going to go ahead and go with our swing bars. So those already come pre-assembled in the kit. If you've unpacked already, you know those are loose. So if you don't have this inside where the bearing goes, make sure to look through the packaging. That's very important. That's going to go set here. So we're going to prep that up. Take the pin out and then come back through the outside in, so that pin is just long enough to fit inside those housings. So we're going to do all 4 of those. Make sure that the swing arm is facing toward the inside of the swing. All right. And now we're going to move on to step number 7. Same Allen wrench attachment, the number 4, and come back. And go ahead and tighten those up. Now, this is where we get a little tricky. So with this one on the inside bar, we definitely have to use the Allen wrench that they provided us with. So no tightening that with the gun. So these screw in pretty easily, so to be honest, but we just want to come back and hit those with the Allen wrench that came in the kit for the bolt kit. And I can give you a couple more. All right. So go ahead and use 2 of those to put tension on both sides. Perfect. All right, now that those are all tight, we're going to move on to the next step, which is your bearings. So those are the U-joints. Go ahead and grab that up in just a second. All right, guys, we're on to step number 8. Make sure that you look through your boxes for small parts. That's what we just had to cut for. So you have your small ball bearing kit. You're going to have a total of 4 of these with your upright for your bench. Okay, so we've already got everything all set up. I'm going to go ahead and set this down, undo my bolts, and the bearing system, the opening, is going to go toward the inside of the side chair chassis, or whatever you want to call it, the upright. So remember, you always try to keep the bolts set to where you're not showing. So we're set there. 1. Oops. I'm gonna do that upright. So bolts through, up over the top. And now you could go ahead and tighten these right away. They do have the square heads on the other side. All right, guys, so we made sure that the bearings were on the outside away from the back plate. Remember, the back plate, as you're watching this here connected to the bracket, side bracket, that is for the back of the swing, so that when you put the bench together, that'll be your bench back. So as we set this in, line that up. We'll connect this in. If you want to, you could use your gun on that. I've already got the Allen wrench here, so that's fine. Just hand tighten on these. That might be one of those bolts that you want to come back and check on every 6 months. We've got the last one, and they're marked too, guys, left and right. They got the little stickers on the back. So now that we've got the sidebars hooked up, Bearings are good. Now we're just going to connect the seat chassis. Make sure that you've got the bolts facing toward the inside of the chair so they're both mirrored. Going after step 10. And this piece is kind of heavy, but if you stick the bolts through, line that up. Can I hold that for you? A little further over. Where's the hole at? There it is. A happy little bolt. You got your Allen wrench, hold it on the back side. If you can't deal with the power of that, remember my little trick. Take your 10mm, stick it over the end of the Allen wrench, so that way it doesn't vibrate as much. Have you ever seen that? And now let's just go ahead and mirror the other side. So that's going to be number 11. Or sorry, still number 10. Continue number 10. Got it?
Once you get one, it's pretty easy. That one's ready to go too.
All right, so on to the next step, which is step number 11, which is going to be bringing in the support beam to connect the two bars. So that'll be the big U shape right there by you. And back to number 11 here. These are your Big Daddy bolts. And again, cut all those so that way they're prepped. You got 4 storyboards on this one. So I'll give 2 of those to my partner in crime. And let's go ahead and connect the 2 benches from across each other. So I'll take that side if you take that side. Let's kind of prep it up a little bit. You got 1 washer on there? Yep. I'll lift yours. kind of help each other here so you're not going against each other.
You good?
I'm good, if you're good.
Almost. I got one partially through. I'm going against myself.
Perfect. All right, so on this one, this is your number 8mm, and then a 19 wrench on the bolts. You're all set. So open in, right in. You gotta love power tools. All right, so that's set. Next step is gonna be step 12, or which is your cup holders. So yes, sir. It's a little smaller bolt. I believe these are a 13, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get our socket ready for the 13. And these go on the outside. So if you prep these up, these definitely go bolts in this way. Yeah, that's not gonna reach. So in this case, we'll use our 13-inch opening wrench to tighten those up. And that won't even fit there. I think it'll get caught. So we'll both have to tighten those up together. So I'll give you that one. And I'll move over to the other side. You know, cup holders are the most important part, I've told. So we're gonna go ahead and get these 4 cup holders in. Once you tighten both sides, and we'll meet you back on the other side of step 14. Yeah, one more cup holder hiding.
Yeah.
Oh, over there. Oh, that's all right. All right, now that cup holders are done, this is calling for the table already, huh? Cool. So the upright pillar, that bracket, and the table. So 13 and 14. So 13 is the big bracket underneath. And this one's going to be a 19 millimeter on our socket wrench. So that piece and the upright. So now that we've got step 13, we're going to put this over the top, bolts over through. It's got a little bit of a sticky tape on there. That bottom edge, a little horseshoe.
I got this.
Perfect. Now before you tighten this up, I would probably try to eyeball this as best as you can to make sure that it's level. How we look, Greg?
Pretty good.
All right, perfect. And then let's move on to step 14, which is a tabletop. Now, with this one, you can actually adjust it and put it at different heights. I'm just going to go ahead and put it at the highest height here for our installations since we're using it at the fair. Which is going to be top bolt there. And I think this is a 17, Greg. If you have a 17 millimeter, I think it's right there by your right foot. You want to put that on the drill. And use those two. All right. It's always good when we're getting down to the last board, right? So we've got step 13 and step 14 complete. Now we're going to go ahead into the benches. So back rests first, which is going to be step 15. So let's go ahead and grab those. And the back benches we have off to the side, which are those back ones right there on the far left. So once you start with the back side, so he's going to line that up for us. In this case, the washer is going to stay on the bolt for the back. So when you line that up, kind of protects the wood. Just a little backing. 4 bolts per panel or 2 per side. Nope, forgot my washer. Now I'll just hole doesn't like that. So in that case, I guess I'll do that.
Is that a 17 again?
Yep, 17s. If you want to hit those, that'd be great. So 17 millimeter for those, we'll tighten those up. We'll be moving on to the I'll give you that one.
I got this.
Perfect. And
Washers on the back on this, right?
yeah, we're putting the washers on the back. I thought that it was like the other table, but it's not. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the picnic bench while he's finishing up here. That is gonna be step number 17. Once you already got the drill, I'll go ahead and hand those over to you. You should be all set, ready to go. As you can see, this one's really not that hard to put together. It's just bigger, bulkier pieces. Couldn't have done it without my good friend Greg.
Oh yeah.
This is definitely not one to take on by yourself. Now, I'm gonna go on to step 18, just because I don't like working in tight quarters. So remember I've skipped number 16. I'll be going back to that after I'm done with this. Once you put the table on, you're kind of having to bend down. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the footrest on now. So that's your long bolt. It just slides in the pillar. Very, very easy. One washer on each side. Line that up. This comes right through. It's kind of neat the way that it works because it does lift up. But you can imagine with the tabletop on there, you're kind of moving around. That's why I like putting that on first. All right, so one more Allen wrench and the drill.
I'm gonna tighten those up after.
Yep, you got it. Okay, so while he's moving on that, I can move back to step 16. And if you have the Allen wrench connector, that's the number 4. So I'll give you that one there. If we can, or you know what, this is not a power drill one. This is going to be one by hand. So I'll give you your 4, or your 3 now. Sorry, I did 1.
That's okay.
And I'll do the other side.
Good question, Chris. One there. There's another one in the middle here.
On the far side, on the other side of the bearing. If you look underneath, it's the one that I put in.
Right.
I already put it in. That's why.
Oh.
That's why I give you. So you just need to tighten that one with your Allen wrench.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We are on the last 4 bolts, step 19. And we're gonna go and do the tabletop now.
I didn't tighten all those.
That's fine, we'll come back to it. You know, Greg, after all this hard work,
Here we go.
you know what the best part is?
Sitting down.
We get to sit down on the job.
Doesn't get any easier.
All right, so these are the little compression bolts that go up through the top. And that way they'll come into the top of the board. So this is your smaller Allen wrench, so we actually need the 6mm. Let me go ahead and give you 2 of those. While you're doing that, I can go grab the little one.
You have this washer up top.
Yep, washer on top. That's where I got fooled on those back panels, because usually they have a so it looks like we got a big Allen and a little Allen. Can I reach? Ooh, I might not even have to get up. Here, I'll do the hard work.
There you go.
Remember, guys, on a serious note, you don't want to tighten down any of the wood pieces too much. You stand a chance to split the wood. So just hand tighten them. Over time, if they get loose, you can always come back and tighten them back up. It's almost done. That one?
You want the bottom.
Huh?
You need the Allen key for the bottom.
Oh. All right, gang. Last thing is just the top. So Greg and I will get that out right now. That comes in actually your plastic sheath. What's nice about this unit is if it's a beautiful sunny day and you don't want to have the top on, you can take this on and off as need be. The one thing about a gazebo, obviously, is that once it's up, it's up. So you can take this off as needed. So, Greg, what I found on this is that it's always easier to unstrap it. So I'm going to give you this side.
Okay.
And let's start from that side. We'll work our way back. I don't know if you want to go on the front side or the back side.
Doesn't matter, wherever you're more comfortable.
All right, so now what I'll do is when I take this out of the package is unvelcro everything first. This kind of helps as you're going over. You have something to grab. The first time they're Velcro, they're a little tight anyway. All right, so once it's all done, only seconds to bubble wrap, right?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay, so go ahead and grab the top front one more time. So where we started. And that is the bottom. So as we take this, we're gonna slide this right over the top. Definitely a two-person job. And then how you know how far to go is you're gonna go to the top bolt. So the first, not the first one, but the second, so number 2 and number 3, line those up to adjust to the bolts on top. Then number 1 goes down on this side as a wind block.
Further down?
Oh, yep, further down. So to go number 2,
2 and
here,
3.
got it. 2 and 3 up over the bolt. Now the first time that you do this, it's just to get it up. We'll come back and straighten everything out again. So now let's just go ahead and put them over and strap them for now. We're trying to line this up to where the fabric meets up in the middle. So it does kind of give you a guidance. So you've got the seam there, perfect. Okay, so now that we're set, the middle seam is actually lined up. These are lined up. Now him and I are gonna take the one Velcro and go exactly with each other and pull nice and taut. So pull around it and kind of pull both fabrics. There you go. And now that way we're set and push up against. Same difference. So next step, same one. Just trying to get all the flex out, or at least as much as possible. A lot of times just take your hands up over the top bar and kind of roll. Yeah, you just pull on that. There you go. And now we've got most of the slack out. That's a pretty darn good looking cover. So, what do you think, Greg?
I love it.
Isn't that awesome? Where else can you find a swing, a gazebo, and a dining table all in one place? I think Ultimate Comfort Swings is the only place you can. So this is the 460 by Sunset Swings. I hope this installation video helped you out a little bit, but it does show the steps through. So go back on certain steps if you get lost. But there you go. There's your installation video for the 460. We really appreciate you coming out and seeing us here at Ultimate Comfort Swings. From Greg, myself, the rest of the team. If you have any questions, you know to give us a call at 855-763-8882. And once again, just go right on the website, ultimatecomfortswings.com. Come see us at a show near you. Thank you so much for your business and have a great, great day.